Hey, this is Robert Plank from websiteremote.com, and if you use the self-hosted version of WordPress, which means you set up a WordPress site on your own websites, I'm going to show you a huge time-saving tool that you can use to not only manage all your sites in one place, to update all your sites, to push a plugin to all of your sites, but also to pack together or package together all of your different WordPress sites. So if you use WordPress, don't you have a set of favorite plugins? Don't you have a favorite SEO plugin such as All-in-One SEO, or a favorite security plugin such as WordFence, or maybe limit login attempts? Don't you have a favorite caching plugin such as W3 Total Cache or W3 Quick Cache? Well, maybe you have maybe even one or two or 10 or 20 favorite plugins, but even if you do you always remember just the right CSS plugin that you grab when you create a new site? If you happen to use Google Fonts, do you remember just the right Google Font plugin that you use? Because there are about 10 or 20 popular ones, and it's always difficult to remember which is the exact one you use. What about a redirection plugin? What about a header and footer plugin? Well, you see that the problem is sometimes you have those favorite plugins, but you might forget which plugins you have, or even if you remember which plugins, you might not be able to tell that plugin of yours that maybe you grabbed 2 or 3 years ago. You can't remember which one is your favorite one. So the solution is to use this tool called Website Remote so that you can remotely keep track of your plugins and install plugins and update plugins on all of your sites at the same time, but also group your plugins together using packages, which I'll show you in a second. Now, what's a package? Well, a package is a bunch of plugins. So you might have your favorite plugins, like your favorite search engine plugin, your favorite security plugin, your favorite caching plugin, and you might just package those together into what you'd call the essential plugins. Or how about if you run membership sites on WordPress? Maybe you have a favorite plugin for the membership plugin itself. Maybe you always have to remember to install a plugin to add dashboards or tables. I happen to use a plugin called TablePress for my membership site. And so we can create these packages of a bunch of plugins and then in one click say, I want to install this package of 5 plugins or 10 plugins to this new site that I set up. Or I want to say I want to click and install this package of 10 plugins to 100 different sites. We can do that using our Website Remote tool to remotely manage WordPress sites. And this is it right here, Website Remote. You log in and you have a list of different WordPress websites that we have, and we can see that some of them are have out-of-date WordPress, some of them have out-of-date plugins, but what's great about this is in one click we can update all those WordPress sites, we can update all those plugins. If we want to add one plugin to a site, or one plugin to a bunch of sites, or a package of plugins to a bunch of sites, we can do all that and more in the Website Remote tool. And so I'm going to show you this on a site right now. And so I have a site I've already set up for WordPress called Membership Newbie. There's one, maybe 2 posts on here, but other than that, it's completely out of the box. There's nothing here. I can look at the plugins and things I have. And so this is one site that I have, and one site is fine. But what do I do if I have a lot of sites? I don't want to be logging into all those sites. I don't want to be updating all those sites. I don't want to be adding new plugins to all those sites one at a time. Website Remote comes to the rescue. So what we'll do is we'll go to the thing here, and we want to add a website to our Website Remote dashboard. I'm going to add this site I have called membershipnewbie.com. So I'll type in membershipnewbie.com and add that site to my dashboard. And the problem here, now there's this icon here saying that, well, we need to right click and save a plugin to our desktop. So I'll do that now. And then we'll have to log into this site, go to plugins, add new, upload plugin, and activate the Website Remote plugin. So this is a one-time thing. We have to install a plugin one time, and then we'll be able to remotely send all kinds of commands to this site, such as to log in, to update, to add plugins, to update plugins, lots of good stuff. So I just saved the plugin to my desktop, and here it is right here. This is it file, and I'll go to my Membership Newbie dashboard, my WordPress area. I'll click Add New. I'll upload plugin. I'll choose File, and then I'll find the Website Remote plugin. Click Install Now. Click Activate Plugin, and now we should be ready to go. If I go back to this and I can resynchronize my sites. I can go out and talk to all my sites out there and see what they're all doing. And in a couple of seconds, then all of those sites will have reported back to me, and we'll see what it is that we're dealing with. And so just a couple of seconds left now to talk to all of our sites. And now we see that membership newbie has changed from the red the icon into this, and now we see that we can control membership newbie. If I go and select that here, I can see that membership newbie is running this version of WordPress and this theme, and there are no plugins there. Well, I want to change that. I want to add some of my favorite plugins. So I can go to plugins, add new, and I can choose some of the plugins I like. So maybe I say, okay, well, I'm going to install maybe Jetpack. So I'll click add to list, and I want to install Jetpack on that site I just set up, that membership newbie site, but I don't want to have to go and log in and find it. I just want to click and say, I want Jetpack on membershipnewbie.com. So we'll say Jetpack on the middle here and membershipnewbie.com on the right. I'll click on install plugins, and it'll send Jetpack, and it will activate it on that membershipnewbie.com website. It's already done, and if I want to double check, I don't have to, but I can refresh this, and we can see that the Jetpack plugin has been remotely installed by Website Remote. So you can start to see the idea here. So we can also say, well, okay, that worked great. Now I want to put Jetpack onto a handful of my sites, right? I want to put Jetpack on this site and this site. Same deal, I can just click on install plugins, and if the plugin's already there, then it will just move on, but we're going to install this same Jetpack plugin onto webinarcrusher.com, onto a couple of our other sites, just like we did to the membership newbie site. And I cheated a little bit here. I actually turned off the Website Remote plugin on these two sites just to show you that we can also see if this worked on some of our sites and if it didn't work on our other sites, but still we push this one plugin to multiple sites. So that's a great start, but am I going to remember that I like Jetpack, or am I going to remember to install all of my other favorite plugins? Well, that's where packages comes in. And so let me show you some packages I've set up, and I'll set up a new package with you as well. So I've created an Essentials package of plugins that contains our Backup Creator plugin, a Google Speed plugin, all-in-one SEO pack, Google Sitemaps, Google Tag Manager. I can click Add All, and then now it'll just add this to the list, and I don't have to go back and type each one or remember each one. And then I can install this on my membership newbie blog here. So I can see, okay, we're going to install Jetpack. It's already on there. That's fine. Backup Creator, Google Insight, All-in-one SEO, SML Sitemaps, Tag Manager. So it's going to install these 6 plugins on this membership newbie site, or on all of my sites if I wanted to. I'll left click on install plugins, and then it's going out and talking remotely to membership newbie again without me having to log in, remember passwords, install plugins one at a time. It just says, let's install all of these 6 plugins. We can go and check it out now and add all-in-one SEO, Backup Creator, Tag Manager, lots of good stuff there. So that alone saves you a lot of time, right? That saves you the trouble of having to log into different sites. It just has the plugins there. But now we're going to really put this thing on steroids, because we can collect our plugins together into packages. And so we see that I have some packages already. I have a package for the Essentials, which is what we just installed. I have a package for membership sites, so we can see that we might want to install a table generator or a WooCommerce or things like that in a membership site. So what we're doing is we're just basically creating, you can almost think of this as like when you bookmark different websites and you create a folder within those bookmarks. This is sort of that idea. We're creating just a bunch of plugins together. And so maybe I can say I'm going to make a new blog for search engine purposes, right? Because I can look at my membership newbie site, and there are some articles here, right? And so I might need to maybe add a contact form plugin. I might need to add a pop-up plugin. I might need to have an SEO plugin, things like that. So I can say, well, every time I want to add a content blog, right? A blog with content, I want to make sure that I have some specific plugins in here. So I've created this content blog package. There are no plugins there, but I can edit this package, and I can add in some stuff, and I can say, okay, well, I want to make sure that I have a contact form plugin in here. So I can say, I think it's contact form 7, and that's the one I want. So I'll add that. Otherwise, I would have grabbed the wrong contact form. Maybe I can add a pop-up plugin, and I can see what pop-up plugins are available. See, I'm not really sure about all these different things that are available here. And I'm not sure if maybe I can grab like opt-in monster or something like that. Okay, cool. I can add that to the package as well. And I can see what we've created so far. Now we have the contact form. Now we have opt-in monster. And maybe I'll add, just to speed things along, an SEO plugin and an XML plugin. So I'll say SEO, and I'm not sure there. So I want to say all in one SEO pack. And I'll add that one, and then I want to add like a Google XML sitemap plugin. So we'll say Google XML sitemaps, great. And these are just these 4 plugins, and I'll save the changes. And now we have this content blog package and these 4 plugins within it. So every time we make a new site, we can just say, all right, I just made a content blog site. I'll grab this package and it will install these 4 plugins. Let me do that now. I can go to plugins, add new again. And remember how before we looked on this left column to grab plugins to our list. It added those plugins to the middle so we knew which plugins we were about to push. And on the right, we chose which site, if we wanted to add this to all of our sites, one of our sites, and so on. So I can say, I look at my package, and I want to add these 4 plugins for a content blog. If they're already on there, that's fine. It'll just skip over those. So those 4 plugins, and we want to add them to membershipnewbie.com. Click install plugins and let it do its thing, and it's installing those 4 plugins on Membership Newbie, and we'll let that crank away. That finished successfully. And now if you look at the dashboard in Membership Newbie, and we can see there's lots of new menus for us. We can see our plugins, and we can go here and see there's the contact form, and there's Jetpack, opt-in monster, lots of different things. And even if we didn't, so a couple things about this. Number one, if we wanted to at any point log into an individual site and tweak some settings or things like that, and we didn't want to have to remember our password, we can always just go find the site you wanted to log into and left click and say log in, and this will log us in without a password. So the good news on this is you can even forget what your username is, forget what your password is, have a super big long password on your site, because Website Remote will log you in here without a password. That's one thing. The next thing is I can look at the settings for that particular site without even having to log in, and I can say, okay, great. Even without logging in, I can see that these are the different plugins that I have on there, and if I wanted to remotely turn some of these plugins on or off, I could. If I wanted to add headers, footers, CSS code, anything like that, I could do that in this area. If I wanted to add this website to different groups and stuff like that, I could, but you're starting to get the idea. Number one, use WordPress. It's a huge time saver. Number two, use Website Remote to remotely manage all your sites, because you can update and install plugins remotely, even just to one site or to 100 sites. Huge time saver there as well. And you can now package your plugins together. And that way this does a number of things. If you create different kinds of sites, if you create test sites, client sites, membership sites, content sites, etc., you can just have that list of the plugins you usually like to use on those sites, click a button, and install them all at once. And so that is the power of using packages to install multiple plugins into your WordPress sites. You can create a package of, say, your 4 or 5 favorite plugins and say, I want to put them on one site, I want to put them on 10 sites, I want to put them on 100 sites. This is huge. You don't have to dig around for passwords. You don't have to go and install plugins one at a time. You don't have to log into sites one at a time. So websiteremote.com, and if you want to jump on our 99-cent free trial, then go right now. I'll go here in a new window, go to websiteremote.com/trial. That's TRIAL, websiteremote.com/trial, to claim your 99-cent trial offer to remotely manage one, many, or all of your WordPress sites with plugins that are free, plugins that you upload, or you can even package together these free and premium plugins to install on all of your sites. Websiteremote.com/trial. I'm Robert Plank. Thanks for watching.